Sharon received a master and PhD degrees in electrical engineering for University of Minnesota in 1992 and 1995, respectively. In 1995, Sharon joined to Philips Research as a senior member research staff. While working at Philips, she worked in multiple consumer electronic technology research and development projects, including HDTV video codec, front-end and back-end video processing, display processing, network communication, and telemedicine protocols. In 2002, she joined Harvard International Industry Science. Since then, she has worked as principal video engineering, audio-video system architecture, senior engineering management, and director of advanced technology development. Her expertise on various professional and consumer electronic technologies includes audio and video processing architectures and algorithms, high and low-end consumer electronic product development, HDTV, display enhancement, audio and video compression and decoding algorithm, and wireless transmission and receive system. During her professional endeavors, Sharon generated 21 US patents and various IEEE publications. Since January 2015, Sharon Peng serves as president of IEEE Consumer Electronics Society. So thank you very much. Sharon, it's your time.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you. As Fernando pointed out, I prepared this in the very last few hours or few days, and hopefully this talk can be inspiration of further discussions on this topic. I call it connected home and didn't put it as smart home. As you know, that this is an ongoing research and development. There are a lot of new things coming in every day. So definitely there are still a lot of unknowns, a lot of justification still needed on this topic. And your further research and development and further publications in this field in our Consumer Electronics Society's conferences and also magazines and transactions are all welcome. So here's a glance of my talk. So first, I will give some review on what's going on past and present in the consumer, especially home consumer electronics. What is really the driving force for the development? And I will give a few overview of a few familiar technologies that I've been working on, and also do some use case study with you together. Then let's conclude to see what's next. So first, let's look at what's going on. So in the old time, when we talk about home electronics, we are talking about a passive device that you buy piece by piece and put in a fixed location in your home. And then you also sit in a particular location or in a particular range and enjoy it. And it's more or less each one of them is independently operated and independently doing its own work. And you pick up whatever pieces you need and do whatever task you want. That's a conventional thing. So in the last 10, 15 years, we see the change and we experience the change. People are demanding more and better audio-video experience at home. You want a smart TV, and you want the picture looks fantastic. You want the audio be 7.1, 5.1, with surround sound and effect. And also, you're demanding easy to set up and easy to use. So with So with all these electronics adding in your living room, there are cluttered wires and a big mess around the speakers, the power line, the internet line, all kinds of wires around, and you want to cut the wires as well. So people are going to a new lifestyle, want to simplify it, but still with more and more complicated electronics. And then you want to connect to internet, connect to your smartphone, and use your iPad instead of multiple remote controls. And your kids' room, you want to have parental controls. When you are doing your exercise or doing your study in a different room from your family, you still want to be together with your family, share the same video. All these demands are really becoming possible nowadays. However, there are more to work on. You want it to be interactive and actively participating. And also, you want the video to be following you. For example, you were watching TV, but now the TV also watching you. Google knows the real life data from you. What do you want? What's your preference? What do you want to see after this movie? So there are a lot of eyes watching you. And also, from your point of view, instead of doing all this mechanical work, when you walk from one room to the other, or from one thing to the other, you use your mind or use your smartphone to control, let the audio, video, or security camera follow you from one place to the other. So a lot of new things going on, research being conducted, but for me, coming from a consumer electronics company, we need to put this really working in our products. So to summarize, the lifestyle change, users' habit change. So people would like to go out of their watching triangle and also leave their stereo listening zone. And they want things to be portable, and also they want to simplify living room with less wires and go wireless. And also, in all these things, smartphone become more and more important. Let's say smart devices. There are a lot of apps on your smartphone, on your smart devices, and there are more and more coming out every day, actually. So now you can afford to lose your wallet, but you cannot afford to lose your smartphone. That's what the younger generation feel, because even the bank is on your smartphone. So heavy dependency on smart devices. Okay, and also people are looking for better and improved user experience, but with some degree of sacrifice on the audio-video performance. So ease of use is really the top demand from the consumer electronics device manufacturer point of view. And interactive and active. A lot of big data study and research and data mining research going on as well. So the device really become transferring from hardware to a smart hardware, or let's say user experience driven centric device. But in addition to what the user wants, there are more security concerns and also there are health concerns study relate to this. So from the consumer electronics company point of view, we need to look at all around all these topics and really make the device make sense to our consumers and users. So with all this said, as an introduction, what is really driving the change of the consumer electronics? Let's look at it again. Now the consumer devices used to be the big giant center display is your main device in your home. Everybody agrees that your living room, the center location, you should have your big TV and flat panel, 55-inch, fantastic look display, LCD or OLED, whatever the best you put there. It's not only the electronics, but also it's a big show of your fantastic home. But now, is it really still the mainstream consumer electronics device? If you ask different people, they will give you different answers. From the sales number, actually more and more people are looking at the portable devices, the smart devices that you can carry along become mainstream from the sales point of view. And also accessories around it also become big sales number as well. And headphone is catching up, and all the portable devices are catching up. So people no longer just think about the big TV, the big 7.1 audio system. It's the main consumer electronic devices alone. So yeah, people's thought is changing. And also, you used to want to invest a lot of money, buy a long, durable electronics. You're talking about 8 years, 10 years, the piece of hardware is still good, and you want that investment and return. But now, we're talking about 6 months or 9 months, maximum 12 months. There is a new generation coming up. Every year, the CES show in Las Vegas, you see what's there this year. What would be driving the sales number for the spring of next year, or for the Christmas sale. But also, like us, as a consumer electronics technology society, we are also there to give a 1 to 2 year look ahead on the technology side. What would be the next? So the cycle becomes shorter and shorter. And also the younger generation, they want a device in a very short term and very cheap price, and they can afford, they want new things coming up. So people's thought on how much they want to own and how much they want to pay are really changing. And as also the mainstream device, accessory device, the definition is changing. And also the isolated hardware device really now become a distributed, connected platform and software-based driven device. In addition, the passive one direction, now we are looking for active and bidirectional communication available gaming devices or the smart devices. So, and also from the consumer point of view, I mean the younger generation, whoever now in college, they were born with computers, with internet, with game machines, they grew up with smartphones. See, I have 2 children. One is just finished the college, the other is still in middle school. I can see even these 2 has differences. When my son was in high school, he started using computer, doing his homework. But my daughter now, she does all her homework in elementary school, starting using computers. So the world is really changing every year, every day. You know, for the younger generation, they were born as they're used to with smart devices. All of this in consideration, we as an engineer design the electronics should put our future consumer demand first to see what they're looking for. Also, they don't mind and they're not afraid to connect whatever the hardware to their smartphones. They're not like us, like my generation. We are still afraid there are some security issues, there are some other health issues. The younger generation, they care much less than what we care. And also, the Wi-Fi is everywhere now. I mean, in the university campus, you walk around, you have all your devices connected. It's really, I'm sure like a couple of years ago, it's not like this. It's really changing. But really, what is really the driving force for all these changes? Is it really only the market, only the user, or anything else? I would say definitely the technology is ready, and now it's a good time for all of this putting together. So, with all said, what within a home can connect all these smart devices? So here I have HD TV, I have smart devices, computer, camera, security camera, your healthcare devices, and your portable headphones. So let's look at a few technologies which I think they're the key for getting this work. And each of the technology, there are different aspects. I'm sure there are many publications in the field, and some of the users here, you're the expert of that. So I'm not gonna speak too much on each technology, but if you have interest, we can further discuss. So the core technology around the home, I think it's audio, video, internet, wireless, security, AR and VR related research. But all of this make the home, connected home available now, and also it will be better and smarter in the future. Also, as I said, first thing, you want to get rid of those cluttered wires and make your home clean, but stay connected. So user experience demands on this kind of technology. So to do all this, there are challenges ahead of us. You want to go from SD TV data rate to HD TV, and now we are talking about Ultra HD, 4K, and 8K, which means the data rate will go higher and higher. The bandwidth limitation become a more and more issue. And so the audio-video compression algorithm itself get more and more challenges. And also the copyright issue comes up again, because you're doing the Ultra HD content now with your 4K, 8K video cameras, and who really owns this content? What does the Hollywood think? How do we really put an effective watermarking on the content they would like to protect? And also we worked on this protect once, or never copy it, protect twice, this kind of different scheme. With the new technology coming up, with the new user interface coming up, the new challenge also comes up again. Digital copyright, all these topics. Another big challenge when we are doing the audio-video for connected home is the audio-video synchronization. And we have to deal with the latency issue. So you used to talk about the single room, connected, wired connection. So audio, video, as long as you only care about decoding, encoding, decoding latency, the presentation time, and also the decoding time, you get a couple of frames you need to buffer, then you will be okay. But now you are also engaging the wireless technology. And depending on different wireless technology, the latency could be huge there. On top of that, you need to add on the decoding, compression, latency. So new challenges coming up. Some of them are still really hard to resolve. And also, especially you're going from one room to multiple rooms, and from one device to multiple devices. So the robustness of the presentation and the interference really become an issue. Your neighbor is using maybe other kind of devices could provide you enough interference and you are not able to see it. One of the example we had it in CES, we were trying to do a wireless video streaming demonstration. It turned out we set it up as 2-room so we can stream. It turned out we cannot do it. When you look at the wireless map, there are multiple blobs in the area. Broadcom was there, Samsung was there, all the signals were very, very strong. And all of the interference come together and really submerge your peak. You cannot do anything. So, as said, the wireless connectivity become one of the main things that driving more and more home consumer electronics. Everything wants to have a wireless connection. So, let's look at the wireless connection technology. We're talking about now you're on the market, you can see a lot of portable devices that claim it's wireless. But depending on how you define the wireless, it could be just Bluetooth. Okay, what are the pros and cons for Bluetooth? Bluetooth would be great when you're driving your car, you have your headphone, and you have your smart device around you. Even when you're in the kitchen doing something, you put your smart device there, and you're able to listen to your stereo music, which is fine. So they're really targeted for short range and also low bandwidth. You cannot use Bluetooth to the surround sound, even just the audio. So it's impossible for video. And they're point-to-point, device-to-device. And it can do up to CD quality audio stereo. So more effort looking at Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi definitely have longer range and much higher bandwidth. And it's a multi-point-to-point, multi-point. It can do broadcasting. And it can handle both audio and video. But let's look at the Wi-Fi itself. The Wi-Fi we are talking about nowadays, it could be at different frequency. 2.4 gigahertz band is very popular. Every home now, most of home, we have 2.4. But 2.4, we only have very limited channels. And also our microwave in the home bring a lot of interference as well. And you can see there are only 14 channels available. And of course, you can combine the channels to make the bandwidth higher so that you can deliver both audio and video to a certain limit. And it has a whole home coverage. Great. That's now most of our homes. We buy a relatively very economic router, and we can do the wireless router, and we can do our normal data transferring, and with limited bandwidth, we can do video, low-quality video as well. But if we look at the 5G, it provides much better and stable quality, and it's much less interference brought in. Of course, the cover range will be a little bit less compared to 2.4 because now you are having a higher frequency. And, but it is very capable of doing compressed HD video now. Talking about 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, 802.11ac now is an IEEE standard. It deals with, 5 gigahertz, and it provides much more stable Ultra HD compressed video streaming. The whole home coverage is not an issue. Multi-antennas and beamforming helps increase the bandwidth and improve the range. So with a combination, following the standard, we can do a much better job. So more and more home devices are going towards the need for the 802.11ac, at least for the new coming electronics. It goes with this. On the other hand, we also looked at the 60 gigahertz. 60 gigahertz band, actually, it's very good. It can handle even uncompressed HD video streaming. I personally did this research, and if it's within one room or within your car, this actually can receive very good results. But, the shortcoming of this, it's like it has to be in one room. If you have a concrete wall or you're going a door which have metal or whatever, have longer than 12 meters, then you will have trouble. So here, this one is a shortcoming for longer distance video transmission. But the good part is that it can handle much higher video bandwidth. So the WiGig consortium was formed, and this standard was seriously looking into. And Silicon Image now is sold to another company. But anyway, they were making the third of the fourth generation semiconductors as well. But until now, I didn't see the popular use. One of the reasons is that the antenna cost and the direction. It's very hard to do a lower cost version, and it's very difficult for the consumer electronics company to afford it. So that's one of the driving factors that is not successful. So yeah, here's another slide about this, but I think I said enough about what's the pros and cons for the WiGig, and it's not as popular as 802.11 series of Wi-Fi activities. So currently, here's just a brief overview. Current Wi-Fi audio-video streaming applications. Miracast is a point-to-point audio and video streaming, and there are some products there using this. And we looked at it, and there are more limitations than the 2.4 or 5 gigahertz approach using RTP and HTTP streaming. So the display companies and video focused, they're still doing that, put into a particular application. But for us, like, we are more focusing on how do we work as a middleware of taking the source and restreaming to another sync device. We're more looking at what we can do with RTP streaming, point to multi-point, and care less about the real-time issue, and we are looking at HTTP streaming and RTP streaming. So what is the streaming requirement inside your house? First, it's in-home. But in-home, it can go beyond your rooms. It could be multi-room. And also, the audio-video synchronization could be done on multiple devices, because your audio could go to your speaker, but your video goes to your display. So how do these two talk to get the final audio-video synchronization so that you wouldn't listen something before the picture shows up? So lip sync is still a very challenging issue. And also multi-channel syncing. Like, you have a 7.1 speaker with 2 extra in the other room, and the front has 3, the back has 2. The back has 2, it will be wireless. In the other 2 rooms, also wireless. How would you put this link between the wireless speaker, sync with your video source? So low latency solution is really what we want to go. But currently on the market, I think everybody feels the same challenge and same pain. How do we really effectively resolve this issue? So a lot of proprietary solution coming up, but if you don't go with a standard solution, you will not have a good sale for your product. So for us, we cannot do those proprietary solution in order to handle both ends, the source and the sync. And also nowadays, more and more Internet of Things applications coming up to your smart devices. The display, for example, you can do many more things. I'm not sure if you're really gonna do it, but the display company and TV company, they want to put as many as applications onto the TV, so they want to stay as the mainstream electronics in the home. At least that's what they are claiming. So you need to put as many software implementation on your smart TV in order to stay front. But it's really up to the user now to judge what you really want and what you really want on the other smart devices. I think a lot of this I've already said. The audio equalization, or audio and video experience become more important for the users. So in addition to the sound, the people paying more attention to the experience, sense of presence when they play the music, when they play the video. They want to be like this, virtually their experience the same as what they are saying in the TV. So, so portable devices also challenges the audio-video technology on quality and bandwidth challenges as well. So right now, it's estimated by 2016 there are more tablets, more PCs, more tablets catching up the PC market, and smartphones on the CE market will be more than 2 billion. All of this will join your part of your home consumer electronics now, and with more and more source, you want to stream from your smart devices to your TV, or from your TV, you want to share, instead of sharing, you want to bring it to a private place and stream back to your smart devices. So mutual direction. And the wearable electronics also bring the challenge that you have one more thing you need to worry about, where your content will go, and security and health issue are coming up as a part of the whole picture as well. And you want to see your maybe health data on your TV as well. So a lot of streaming and tangling around the data going on. So let's quickly take a look what do we mean the HD audio. Nowadays we're talking about streaming HD audio, HD video. We are talking about high definition audio. We also talk about high resolution audio. So this is just the terminology difference. So anything about 48 kilohertz with more than 16 bit, including 16 bits, we're calling it HD audio. But when you shop for home consumer electronics nowadays, you're really not stopping there. At least from engineering point of view, right now we are talking about you have to do 96 kilohertz, 24-bit. That's the minimum requirement for now for making the consumer electronic devices for next year, so that you can have a good buy. You have the customers. So the HD audio, instead of originally only come from the CD or of Blu-ray, nowadays is coming a lot of audio service website, internet, from cloud, multiple places. So when you do the audio product, home electronics, now you need to think about, you want to put all these applications doable by your devices. For example, the Spotify is very popular, especially in Europe. So we get very high demand. All our devices, all the future devices, you have to have Spotify connected. If you ever visited Spotify, you can see how much money they're making. I mean, each customer subscription is a relatively very affordable rate. But think about how many customers they have. And that's really bring the challenge to each of the consumer electronics devices manufacturers. You want their attention because you want to have the application on the devices. But also, from the Spotify point of view, they care how big the customer you are. You know, if your device is really gonna sell. So that brings a lot of mutual challenges. So people will not stop at stereo channel, surround sound. They will not stop at single room satisfactory. They will not stop at 48 kilohertz, 16 bits. So we're going the HD streaming for sure with more and challenging requirement. Now let's look at the video. Video, I'm frequently asked by the people, you have 1080p, 1080 60p, or 1080 120, and 1080, some people talk about 240. Do we really need to have 4K or 8K? Do I need to change my TV? Well, my view is that it's really up to you, and also leave it to your own home situation. I mean, what would be your satisfactory point to watch TV? You're paying more attention on your content, or you're paying more attention to the quality of life. So, but from the technology point of view, 4K, 8K compressed streaming is really coming to your user end. And also, the newer standard for compression is made for the portable devices and for the Ultra HD TV. For example, the H.265 HEVC compression, it's already implemented by multiple streaming services. Netflix actually has a premium HD streaming service already available on some of the TVs. You can already have it. For example, Panasonic now has, I think, a new brand coming up, actually earlier this year, already able to do it. So, yeah, this brings the question, if the bigger is really better, it's up to the user, but I always give people an answer. What is really good for a particular you to have a 8K or 4K over the 2K, which is 1080p? If you really have a smaller room, I mean, you feel the 1080p would be good enough for you, but you need to sit in a distance, okay? You need to be like 3 feet away from the TV so that you can enjoy the TV experience better. But now with a 4K, you can sit half of the distance. You can still enjoy the same quality. That's a difference. That's a simple difference you can judge. So this graph will show you, on the left, it is a viewing distance. On the bottom, it shows the screen size. So with the same screen size, you can reduce half of, or even more, of your watching distance. That's what the higher resolution of TV bring to you. Of course, there are other good things. The content will be much cleaner if you can have the Ultra HD content. To summarize, you know, H.265 really bring, for the same quality, it's bring down the bit rates only half of it compared to H.264, which is already very, very effective compared to MPEG 2. So that's the change. So H.265, you can safely say it's made for portable devices. It is ready for portable devices. So it is estimated by 2017, 2/3 of the world mobile data traffic will be video. So that's where it is going. 265 is make your mobile phone ready to stream. Okay, now let's look at a few home use cases together. This is part of my research still going on. So some of them, just my personal opinion. If you have different opinion, of course, we can discuss. You know, for simplification, we have this slide. You know, the Bluetooth definitely not made for audio, for video. It's for short distance voice and data and audio and low quality audio. Then we have 5, 2.4, 60 gigahertz listed here for single room, for multi-room transmissions. So now it's very popular, at least in the US, people talking about Google Cast. What is Google Cast? You know, Google Cast make you available. It's really low cost, $35. You can buy a dongle and plug in, and you can just cast your personal video onto your big TV. You know, young people really like this, and this is the first step. So there are other competitors also coming up. I mean, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV. If you want to do the shopping now, and these four are one of them, I'm sure you will buy it. If you are really a Google fan, you may end up buying the Nexus player or the Android TV. But I can safely tell you there are more and cheaper ones coming up very soon. Okay, just a few use case study, try to make everybody think together with me what you're expecting. Okay, suppose you own a big house. You have, well, this one, I put a picture here. This one is one of our company's product. It's coming with more complicated use cases. But this product right now, you see the top, here is a slash button. So that's a button, we made it active for you to switch from single source to multi-source, single room to multi-room, use case switch. Try to make your life simple. In the next few slides, you know what I mean. Okay, the first use case. If it's you want to do a multi-room video, for example, Jane is watching a movie in the living room and taking the full use of the surround sound because you have all the 5.1 speakers setting up there. Then she wants to go to her bedroom, and she has to turn off the TV and go upstairs, turn on the TV, and go to the right channel and start watching. But right now, if we have this slash button, you can just go upstairs and press that button. It will go to the same channel you were watching downstairs, and in the meantime, also the downstairs is shutting off. So this smart button can make the home really connected. Second use case could be you want to watch a video. So he opened the smart phone app and start playing the video throughout the house. It's like the party mode. Every device is playing the same thing. With your choice, you configure to the way. On the big screen video, and other devices playing the same thing. Another thing, like you are watching the TV, then you are going to your study room, and also your kids are sleeping. You don't want to disturb them, but you want to continue watch your soccer match. So you go to your study and turn on your smartphone, have your wireless headphone on, and you press that button again. Everything audio come to your headphone, video come to your smartphone. And then the main TV is shutting down. This is just a few examples that right now we are working on. And there are other competitors also working on similar scenarios. And there are some products already coming up with this. This is just a glimpse what's going on. To summarize, the passive, fixed, hardware-driven home electronics now really becomes active, interactive, and smart home devices. And it is self-configurable and flexible, so you can add in or remove just from your fingertip. And you can configure to whatever you preferred mode, in a party mode or in a stereo mode, whatever. And also, it is cloud connected, and in your office, you can turn on and off your electronics at home as well. So, of course, the home is only a term. In beyond, you can think about your moving home as a car. So the car could eventually be connected with your home as well. When you drive into your garage, whatever you're listening on the road, it will be projected in your home devices as well. Just use your imagination. Anything could happen. Thank you. That's all my talk. Any questions?
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Sharon, for your interesting talk. This is your home.
Future home.
Okay. Okay, we are on time, so we have time for a few questions. Is there any question? Yes.
Joe.
I can get it out. A question. Do you think that the connected home makes people less connected to each other?
That's a very good question. I can give you an example. Now, the husband and wife in the same house, they don't talk, they send emails. That definitely happens, but I think this provides convenience for people who need it. It's always a good question to ask. We should stay connected, of course.
I have two questions, Sharon. When we go to restaurants in the Newark airport, they have iPads on the table to order from. When do you see iPads in the home to order dinner at the couch to where you don't even have to go to the kitchen anymore?
That will never happen in my house. But I think, make the restaurant business easier. You can just order. Recently I noticed that I'm from Los Angeles. There are some website of the restaurant. It's on Yelp. Very good comment on it. They made it available for you to order online. But when I talked to one of the restaurant owner, I said, well, this is very convenient for me. Maybe next time I'll do the same thing, and I don't really need to call you, and your phone line would be easier. And she said, oh, I still prefer you call, because sometimes when you get busier, and the tablets got ignored first, because the higher priority still come as phone. So I think in the transition period still.
Yeah. And okay, one more. You mentioned the Chromecast. Chromecast now is in the $35 range for a device. You said much cheaper and soon. How much cheaper and when?
Well, maybe I shouldn't say it's cheaper. Some of the electronics, actually, they're going to get it integrated into it. So you don't need to pay. That's one way. The other way is that maybe they stay in the same price range, but with added functions. Google is very active in doing the, Chromecast. We call it the Google Cast now, with multiple companies. I'm sure if you work for a big company, you heard that in your company. Someone is working with them.
Any other question?
Any other question?
Any other questions?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sharon. We have a small present for you.